The moment I launched that game, I felt it, that wrong kind of silence. You know when the air goes still, and your body just knows something's off. That's how it started. The monitor hummed louder than usual, the air grew cold, and I swear I could feel eyes on me from somewhere in the dark corner of the office. It was 11:15 p.m. I was alone on the night shift again. I'd been doing security for a small corporate building on the edge of town for a few months. 3 floors, 1 basement, endless hallways that all looked the same. The kind of place that feels haunted even before anything happens. I had the usual setup: a thermos of coffee, my phone playing quiet music, and a dying computer that took 5 minutes to boot up. It was supposed to be a boring night, but boredom makes you do stupid things. While checking the monitors, I noticed something strange on the desktop, a new program I didn't remember installing. The icon was simple, a black square with a single white eye in the center, the name Night Shift Simulation. At first, I thought maybe the IT department was testing something new. But when I hovered over the file, my stomach twisted. It said it had been installed just 10 minutes ago. And I hadn't touched anything. Curiosity beat common sense. I clicked. The screen went black. For a moment, I thought the computer crashed. Then static. A faint buzz, like an old TV trying to find a signal. A progress bar appeared, loading environment. When the static cleared, my jaw dropped. It wasn't a game, it was a feed, a security camera feed. 6 screens labeled: lobby, break room, east hall, storage, server room, elevator. All real locations inside the building, every single one. My first thought was, okay, someone's messing with me. Maybe a hidden training sim or a prank. But then I noticed the in-game clock. It read 11:31 p.m. I glanced at my wall clock, same exact time. I laughed nervously, creepy but clever. I said out loud, just to hear a voice, but then came the sound. A dull thump somewhere far off in the building. I froze. Maybe it was a vent or the elevator, but it didn't sound mechanical. It sounded heavy. I looked back at the monitor. Nothing, just empty hallways. And then one of the feeds glitched. The east hall. For a split second, a shadow crossed the frame. I leaned closer, squinting. Nothing. Just that flickering fluorescent light. I told myself it was lag, maybe a bug. Still, I couldn't shake that uneasy feeling. Then, in the corner of the lobby camera, I saw something move, someone walking, a tall figure passing by the front desk. I frowned, trying to focus on the low-resolution footage. The uniform looked familiar, my uniform. My throat went dry. The person in the feed was me. At first, I thought maybe it was an old recording, but then the figure stopped, turned, looked straight into the camera, directly at me. I froze. My hand hovered over the mouse. Then the office lights flickered, once, twice, and the PC fan screamed louder, as if syncing with my heartbeat. When I looked back at the screen, the figure was gone. That's when the whisper came, soft, close. I couldn't make out the words, but it was enough to send a chill racing down my spine. I turned down the volume. The whisper got louder, and then knock, knock, knock. 3 slow taps from behind me. I turned. No one. Just the empty hallway. When I faced the monitor again, new text was flashing across the screen in white. Do not leave your station. I hadn't typed anything. I hadn't touched the keyboard. The words pulsed, waiting for me to respond. I tried to move the mouse. It was frozen. The static deepened, vibrating through the speakers. Every instinct screamed at me to turn the power off. But I didn't. The cameras flickered again. All went dark except one, the storage room. It showed rows of dusty shelves under dim yellow light. At first, nothing moved. Then a shadow, sliding slowly across the floor toward the lens. The static grew louder, like a heartbeat. And just before the screen cut to black, I saw it, a hand reaching. The feed snapped off. I stumbled back, breath sharp. My skin felt electric, like the room itself was humming. Then the monitor flicked back on, showing me a live feed of my office. The camera angle was from behind me. I froze, afraid to move. It showed my back, my head tilted toward the screen, just as I was sitting right now. Then the version of me on the screen turned its head, slowly, not in sync, and when it faced the camera, its eyes were hollow. Its smile stretched too wide. Then, click, all power died. Lights, computer, everything. The silence was suffocating. Then, footsteps, slow, dragging, coming down the hall toward my office. Each step echoed, deliberate. Closer, closer, then it stopped right outside my door. I didn't breathe, didn't blink. The monitor flicked back on, bathing the room in blue light. A message appeared, "You shouldn't have turned around." My mouth went dry. I turned my head slightly toward the window and saw it. A reflection, a tall, shadowy figure standing behind me. I spun around, nothing. But the door was open now. It had been locked. The chair wedged under the handle was still there, but the latch was undone. Then I heard it whispering. From the hallway, it said my name. That was enough. I grabbed my flashlight, pointed it down the hall, and froze. The door to the storage room was open. A notification popped up on my phone. Motion detected, storage room. My stomach twisted. I should have left, but curiosity pulled harder than fear. I went downstairs. The air was cold, breath visible. The door creaked when I pushed it open. The room smelled like damp metal. The light flickered weakly overhead. Everything looked normal. Boxes, tools, shelves. Then I heard it, breathing, not mine, slow, ragged, right behind the shelves. "Hello," I called out. No answer. I stepped forward, flashlight trembling in my hand. The beam danced across the room, hitting a small metal tag on the floor. I picked it up. It was my ID badge, the one clipped to my jacket upstairs. Before I could even process it, a voice whispered behind me, calm, cold, "Shift's not over." I spun around, light shaking wildly, and saw him, the same figure from the camera. I ran. I crashed into a shelf, dropped my phone, bolted out the door, slamming it behind me. I didn't look back, not once. When I got to the office, I locked the door and pressed myself against it. Nothing, silence again, then my radio crackled, static. Then my own voice, "You shouldn't have gone down there." The line went dead. The monitors somehow were on again. The hallway camera showed a figure outside my door, motionless, just standing there. I whispered, "No, no, no." Then it raised its hand. Knock, knock, knock. The same 3 knocks echoed from the door. Perfectly in sync, I slammed my hand on the power button. The screen went black, silence. Then my phone buzzed again. Another notification, motion detected. Everywhere, every camera feed popped up, each showing the same figure walking down different hallways at once. I froze. He was everywhere. I grabbed my jacket and ran. I threw open the office door and froze. The hallway looked wrong. Longer, darker. The lights stretched out like a nightmare. I whispered, "Hello," and a voice echoed back. "Hello," my own voice. That's when I realized it was copying me, repeating my words a second too late. The lights popped one by one, getting closer. Darkness followed each step. Then, pop, the bulb above me exploded. Everything went black. I tried to stay calm, whispering, "Okay, okay, this isn't real." A bang. A door slammed somewhere in the dark. I ran, didn't even look where. The flashlight beam flickered over walls, shadows bending wrong, like the building itself was alive. Then a mirror. I nearly crashed into it, but it wasn't showing me. It showed the office, me sitting at the desk. The reflection version of me looked up and smiled. Then behind him, the shadow appeared. Its hand reached out, and my flashlight died. I heard breathing right next to my ear, then a whisper, "Don't look away." Fingers brushed the back of my neck, cold and real. I swung the flashlight, the beam catching a pale grin inches from my face before it vanished. My phone buzzed again. A text stopped trying to leave. I dropped it. Then, as if mocking me, the lights came back on. The hallway looked normal. Everything calm, except for one thing. At the far end, a figure stood still, silent, watching. Then it started walking toward me. Slow, purposeful, each step killed a light overhead. Tap, flicker, darkness. Tap, flicker, darkness. I whispered, "This isn't real," but the thing kept coming. When it was halfway down, I broke. I turned and sprinted. I hit the stairwell, ran down fast, heart hammering. My phone buzzed one last time. "You can't leave the game." I hit the lobby, grabbed the exit handle, and threw the doors open, only to find myself back in the same hallway. Same lights, same vending machine. It looped. The monitors flickered to life all around me, showing dozens of camera feeds. Each one showed me from different angles, but in every shot, something stood behind me, sometimes at the door, sometimes right beside me, sometimes smiling. I turned, nothing. When I faced the monitors again, every version of me was smiling now. I wasn't. I whispered, "What do you want?" The speakers hissed. Then my own distorted voice replied, "You let me in." I backed up, trembling. The monitors shifted to a new screen, gameplay footage, the same horror game I'd launched earlier. But the character in the game wasn't an avatar. It was me, same uniform, same flashlight, same fear. The in-game me turned toward the screen, and in a glitchy, broken tone said, "Shift's not over." The lights exploded. Darkness swallowed the room. Footsteps surrounded me. Hands grabbed my shoulders, cold, strong, but invisible. I screamed, yanked at the cords, but the monitors stayed on. Every screen pulsed with one message: stay, play, forever. The walls blurred, melting into static. My hands glitched, pixels flickering where fingers should be. Then a voice whispered near my ear, calm, friendly, familiar, "Welcome back, player." Everything blinked out. Then suddenly I was back in my office. The clock ticked. 3:18 a.m. Everything normal again. I laughed, half hysterical. Okay, yeah, that was. What the hell was that? Then my headset beeped, the same soft tone from the game. And through it my own voice whispered, "Round 2. The clock ticked backward. 3:17, 3:16, 3:15. The monitor lit up. It showed the hallway outside my office, and walking down it was me. Same jacket, same flashlight. The double stopped at my door, knocked, knock, knock, knock. The same sound echoed behind me. I turned empty. Faced the screen again, my double smiled, then pressed its hand against the glass. The screen bulged, stretching outward like something trying to crawl through. I ripped the headset off and ran. I threw the door open and stepped into a foggy street under a single flickering streetlight. No building, no sound, just fog. Then footsteps behind me. The figure stepped into the light. It was me. But wrong, distorted, glitching like corrupted data. It smiled my smile and said in my voice, "You left me in there." I stumbled back, shaking my head. "This isn't real." It laughed, broken, digital, real enough. The world cracked apart, pixels bleeding into the air. I ran through the fog. I saw a door, metal, glowing faintly, an exit. I grabbed the handle and yanked it open. I was back in the office. The desk, the monitors, the clock, exactly as before. 3:19 a.m. I whispered, "It's over." Then my phone buzzed. One new alert, motion detected, control room. I turned slowly toward the monitor. It was on. The camera feed showed my office. My desk, my chair, empty. Then in the corner of the frame a shadow, smiling, black screen, cue out row music.